Hey y'all call me Miss Sip. Welcome to Unicorn Straight No Chaser podcast, where we always give you an education, a laugh, and a heavy pour as I was partaking in. As usual, I'm Siren by night, and to my right,
Tokyo T.
and to my left,
Tony below me.
your hair looks so pretty today.
Ooh,
Yours.
Thank you.
So we got a lot of things to talk about tonight. Tokyo is not finishing, but doing the second part of her BDSM series. We got something to get into in the Mayhem and Media segment. Simone Biles, the bonnet debate. We might get into T.I. and Tiny. At this point, I just want them to go to jail. I don't know. And then we're going to review episode 1 of Loki, which I really, really enjoyed, but we'll get into that later. This month is Pride Month. Let's show our Happy Pride pic. So we definitely want to, Otis. I was about to call you Jessica. Yes, Happy Pride Month 2021. So, Jessica, our fourth unicorn, is not here today. We have a replacement unicorn. So if you hear me yelling at Otis, like Otis from the Temptations,
You might come to see me.
just bear. Otis, that's right. Just bear with me, okay?
Wait for Otis.
We'll buy Otis some alcoholic beverages later. But yes, it's Pride Month. June is Pride Month. So definitely we want to celebrate all our LGBTQIA family. I myself am part of that community. So I definitely wanted to mention it. And I wanted to get into a little bit of mental health when it comes to being a part of that community. So I started doing like research, and I decided I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to go that route because, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody understands, that there are gay people in this world. There are trans people in this world. It's 2021. I don't feel like we need to get into explanations and back and forth as far as whether people think that people were born gay or created by some traumatic event. I just feel like we have come too far to even get into such a basic topic as far as that's concerned. But I want to talk about the fact that when you are a part of that community, you are 50% more likely to suffer from depression and anxiety and to deal with issues as far as, being suicidal and things of that nature, even more so when you are part of the African American community, because it's really, really taboo, especially when you want to talk about, Black men, and then God forbid if you grew up in the church. That's a whole nother layer about the religion and us being Black people, and it's saying, in the Bible that it is a sin. So all of those things play a part into people being depressed. There are so many people walking around in this world not living their true lives, not being their true authentic selves. And like I said, later on, we're going to talk about Pose, and that's a really good show that gives us a peek into, the lives of people that are trans and gay men and the things that they had to deal with and encounter growing up in this community and being Black. I'm glad I really didn't have to go through that. I kind of was able to bypass that because I'm pansexual. And Otis, can you put that description up? Because I know a lot of people don't know what that is. So when I was coming up, like my first experiences were with girls, not boys. But I always had an issue because I did not understand my feelings as far as it pertains to women, right? Like normally a man is a man, right? A straight man. So if you got a big ass and you got titties and stuff, you look mildly decent, they're attracted to you. They want to have sex with you. I didn't have an attraction like that to women. I was attracted to certain women, but it felt like there was no rhyme or reason to it. It was just like if I did, I really, really did, and then otherwise I didn't pay you any women any mind. So a lot of people that are close to me men, namely, I didn't feel comfortable talking to other women about it. But if you're like really my male friend and we're really close and you already know this about me, I didn't feel comfortable with that bisexual label. It didn't sit right with me. It was always something weird about it. And so I didn't claim it. And I thought, it must just be a phase I'm going through. I'm not really gay. I'm not in that community. Every time I would try to like go to a club or an event or something, I would just say, never mind. Like, yeah, I would be afraid to go. Mm-hmm. Like I would get afraid to go. And I didn't have any other friends that were out until I was grown. Okay. So I didn't have any friends in the community. I didn't have a gay bestie or anything like none of that stuff. I didn't know any lesbian women that were out or anything like that. So I just kept it to myself. And I felt like I didn't have a right to say I was part of the community. It was like I didn't think because I wasn't in it. I wasn't an active lesbian. I wasn't an active lesbian. I did not partake of the vagina. So I felt like I couldn't say that. You know what I mean?
Were you sure that that's what you were into, or you just really wasn't sure? It was just like
it wasn't making sense to me because I was just like, why is it only certain women that I like? Okay. Like it's only certain women that I like. So I was just like, this girl is very pretty. I should be attracted to her. Right. It was weird.
You're not like a guy. Guys just. I like it. The fat ass will bring them to the but I get you. Like, all right, so pen would be a better term for you because it's not really a.
Yeah, I just like who I like.
Yeah,
that's it. Even like handsome men, I'm just like people that like you should be attracted to that person. I'm like, it's not doing it for me. Yeah, it's just weird. What I like is very weird to me. It's odd, right? Mm-hmm. So
but in the same note, you flip too. You really like somebody, but they can do something, and you be like, I don't know.
Well, that's just me being Aquarius. That's completely different. If you get on my fuck you side, then okay. But and then I also said I don't like studs. Mm-hmm. I said that in my head. I was like, that doesn't make sense to me, right?
Okay.
I get you. But then like I met a couple of girls that were like soft studs, and I was like, well, God. I think I text y'all about one too. I was like, I'm in the car with this girl, and I turned into an idiot.
With girls,
I turned into an idiot. I was like, I don't want this to sound weird, but you're like really, really pretty. No, she was smiling.
Now I kind of get where you come from sometimes. Like studs don't make sense to me, but I feel like I can feel the masculinity in some of them. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them don't seem. I don't know. It's weird. Like I've seen some stuff. They be like, you give me boy vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't automatically be like, oh, you're a girl and that's it. Like they give you a vibe sometimes. So maybe you feel like kind of masculine energy, some soft.
No, I think they're very like. Oh. If I see a soft stud,
you think they're pretty.
Not all of them. What I'm saying to you is that where I had this forms, fixated things in my mind of how I looked at people, as I got older, I started to notice like you are not attracted to this is a man and this is a woman. Okay. You are attracted to whatever it is about this person. Okay. You get what I'm saying?
Like where they vibe, where they aura.
Right. It's like some kind of aura or their intelligence or their sense of humor is not based on whether they're a man or a woman. Okay. You know what I mean? I used to think Tony was cute. Not like that, Tony.
I'm fond of that motherfucking frog all time.
You know what I mean? Like before we was like friends, like that or whatever. You know, but now that we're friends, I don't look at you like that. But
it's more of like a fancy type.
Right. So because it's her locks and her gap.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like it.
I think it's very attractive.
I think it fits.
I think it's very attractive.
Some people's gap are not as pretty as yours.
I love it.
I will say some people have some situations going on.
People hate
but
it.
Your gap fits you. Like it looks nice on you.
It's like the worst thing to some people.
Would change to make me more comfortable. Because now I do have friends that are a part of the community. Like I have, lesbian friends and I have pansexual friends and I have friends that I've gone on a journey with that we kind of around at the same time discovered like, hey, I'm pan, we both pan. Like, you know what I mean? It's education. Other people are more open to discussing it. And so then you can listen to their experiences and you can see little pieces of you in them. And that made me more comfortable. And honestly, age too. As you get older, you get more comfortable with saying fuck you and your feelings. I'm going to be who I want to be, and it is what it is.
I think the more time goes on, the more natural it becomes to some people. You know what I mean? Everybody's always talk about, forcing it. Nobody's forcing it. It's just that the more time goes on, the more people speak out, the more people identify what they are and everything, the more comfortable other people who are so afraid to say something, come forth and say something. So it's not being forced. Y'all just need to open up your fucking eyes. You know what I mean?
It's the same thing like we're talking about mental health, right? People would ask me, why do I talk about it so openly? It's because it makes other people more comfortable to discuss it as well. And you don't feel like you're the only one. So a large chunk of my life, I grew up thinking, I was weird. But beyond the normal weirdness of that I thought I was weird because of my feelings towards women and stuff like that. And now I don't feel like that anymore. But I'm not going to lie. I do still feel like there's a portion of that I don't get to claim it. I don't get to be like, yeah, I'm part of the community and stuff. I still hear those feelings.
Maybe because you don't feel like you've been oppressed the same way that they have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the journey was
right. Yeah.
Like different minorities feel oppression in different ways. Various ways, whether you Black, gay, Asian, blah blah blah.
You didn't go through their struggle.
Right.
And I don't mean like you do all this stuff.
Right.
And people accept you and all that. So it's kind of, I feel you. I get you.
Right. Like I don't have to do this big thing coming out to my grandma is this. I don't have to come out to my grandma. I don't talk to my mom. My father is dead. So I don't have to come out to them or have that conversation with them. And anybody else, I don't really.
It's understandable.
I don't give a fuck.
If I feel like if I've been through something, like similar and everything, I wouldn't, but it's not as bad. I get what you're saying. Like you don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I do this, knowing that other people been through worse.
Yeah. Take the people that are like in a real close-knit family, a religious family and everything. I've heard some of the horrible stories of, gay Black people, that have to come out to their families and they get kicked out on the street and, they have to work the piers or work the corners or whatever, because the only thing they can do is sex work. That's more so when it comes to the trans people. I hear all those stories and I just think how horrible it is that you have to pay such a price to just be who you were meant to be and love who you are meant to love. You know what I mean? I had these coworkers a few years back, and I don't know how we got into the discussion, but I was talking to this man about if his son was gay. I think he said his son was like 12 or 13 or something. And, you know, he definitely said, hey, Malika. He definitely said that if he found out his son was gay, he would kick him out on the street. And I couldn't believe that this black man was sitting in front of me saying that it would take such a small thing for him to throw his child out and to stop loving him. And I called him trash. I told him he wasn't shit. He wasn't. And I went, you know, I went up to one of my higher ups and told him what happened in case he wanted to make a big deal about it. You know what I mean? But I could not just sit there and not say anything to him because it's disgusting. And this is why you hear people committing suicide. This is why you hear people depressed. This is why you hear people slitting their wrists because of mentality like that. Whether or not you agree with that person's lifestyle, even though I don't know why you wouldn't.
I swear I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
It don't.
You would kick your own child out.
Should not even give. Why do you care? That's something I never understood.
And like why in this community, we're so like it's so funny. Like I really don't see the black people who are homophobic. I really don't see no difference between them and racist white people. Right. Because when we're in conversations like this, been countless times where I've been in situations with my coworkers, and like you know, it was like a transgender girl just started working. I think she's man. That's a man. What the fuck does it matter? You know what I mean? And I'm the type of person, like, if I can't add something to a conversation, or if I'm in a conversation with somebody I really care about and I don't know what to say, I'm probably going to be I'm going to feel real awkward. I'm going to get quiet. And I'm probably going to get up and leave because I can't add nothing to the conversation. You know, and a lot of black women, and I will call out black women about that because y'all seem really comfortable about doing this, are very homophobic and very transphobic. And when we get into our little groups, oh, that's a man, or he fruity, or like I would never date a bisexual man, blah blah, because they're too weak or whatever. It's stuff like that. Those are homophobic, you know, phrases and words. You know, and that shit's not cool. You know what I mean? If you feel a certain type of way, keep that shit to yourself.
Because how can we expect and ask for equality and equal treatment, and then we turn around
and oppress people
to do the same exact thing?
They have no control over their sexuality. Is the way that they are.
It's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's true, it do come from a lot of men are like that. So a lot of men are like that, and they get taught growing up that being gay is wrong. And they pass it on to their children.
I mean, they get ups. When I say
that's what I'm saying. I don't understand. If you see the rage, like the upset, the butt hurtness, it's like weird. Like, why are you so upset?
Yeah.
Why are you so offended by what they're doing?
Or taught that being gay is wrong from childhood, and that is correct. We are taught those things from childhood. You know, we have to start to let those things go. You know, it's 2021. When are you going to let that toxic masculinity go? We tell our sons they can't cry. You can't wear pink. This is for a girl. This is for a girl. Like I had these conversations with my own son. You know, he's like, can I wear this? He asked all these questions, and it's like, why are you? I said, listen, you can wear whatever you want to wear. You know, pink doesn't mean anything big. If you wear pink, that doesn't make you any less of a boy. Clothes and colors are social constructs. You know what I mean? Back in the day, pink was not a girl color. It wasn't created as a color strictly for girls. So you putting on pink doesn't make you any less of a little boy. I'll let him be who he wants to be and figure out who he wants to be. Experimenting with clothes, experimenting with color, experimenting with a variety of things, crying, having emotions, and being sensitive does not define whether or not you are a man at all. So I really need our Black men to do better in regards to that. And if you do find out that someone is gay, it is what it is. It doesn't affect you. All gay men don't want you.
I think that's what it is. That must be it. They must think that they're gonna hit on them.
You know what I mean?
I don't fucking know.
Like,
I really don't get it. I swear I don't get it. Like, it doesn't.
They broke the mold. Like, I went. All the gay men gonna want me.
Right,
If
like,
I find out they gay, they gonna want.
They gonna hit on me.
You know,
I just don't want that around. They're gonna be perverted and try to look at me like I don't get it. I don't. Nobody wants you.
Nobody wants you.
Bye.
But there are a lot of LGBTQIA youth on the streets. That is a large population of them that are homeless because they have been kicked out of their homes. You know what I mean? When you get kicked out on the street, you turn to drugs, you turn to prostitution. Mm-hmm. Why would you want their life for your child? Why would you want their life for your child? Because you're concerned about what other people think or whatever you feel like you were taught that's in their Bible. You kick your son out on the street for being gay, but you probably just sleeping around on your goddamn wife. Like,
okay. I don't understand what you worry about they stuff for, you know. It's just weird to me.
That's what I'm saying. It's weird. What you gonna think about it all the time? You know what they must obsess about, like, they probably picture their sons having sex with men or something. Like, it's something else.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. Or
yeah, they probably do.
They imagine a certain type of filthy lifestyle or something. I think that's what it is. Like, oh, you probably just out there. You know, like, I think that's kind of how they look at it. Like,
I truthfully believe that the men who say like homophobic stuff like that push it so hard, I truthfully believe wholeheartedly that they got because all the times, like anytime, like a guy who was on a DL has ever been found out, you always see him accompanied by like, you know, homophobic but your rhetoric and everything like that. I feel like they push it.
Like Kevin Samuels.
Yes, I feel like they push it so hard. Like they push it so hard. You know what I mean? To get the attention off of them, you know, off of their ways and stuff like that. Like
overzealous, like overhyped. Like, oh, what? I beat you. You know, they get extra hype, and it's like
he couldn't possibly. Yeah, he don't even like these.
That's what he loves them. Right?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
But no, you know, there's a whole lot of DL men. First of all, when we talk about they are projecting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about trans women, right? Who y'all think trans women sleeping with?
Mm-hmm. Who y'all think?
Listen.
Who y'all think?
Straight men. Supposed to be straight men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who y'all think that trans women are sleeping with? Mm-hmm. There is no way that trans women can primarily do sex work and things like that without having customers.
Right. I'm so tired of this whole narrative. Yes.
Allegedly.
I'm so tired of this whole narrative they out there tricking men and everything. Giving like everything, everybody, every race, every religion, everything. You know, people got their bed, it was whatever, but they ain't tricking no fucking body. Them niggas want their shit.
Exactly.
They want their shit. Just say a lot, say product cool, ain't nothing wrong with you.
Nobody should care.
People can't. Nobody should care. It's the future. Get with it. Get lost. Ain't nobody really give a fuck.
I honestly just want to say to anybody out there who is still in the closet, that is still questioning. I mean, everybody has to come out on their own time. Right. But I'm saying, if you're in the closet and you're questioning, you know, don't wait to live your full and authentic life. Mm-hmm. You are going to lose some people depending on who your family and friends are. You are going to lose some people. And as painful as it might be, that's okay, because you're going to gain other people. You will have people that come into your life and love who you are as a person, the real you, that won't care about who it is that you lay in the bed with. They won't care that you are transitioning. You know, when you get rid of trash, it opens the door for people who are going to embrace you. And that love is going to be so much better because somebody is finally seeing the real you. You are finally free. That's freedom. Like the entire time that you know, are closeted and not coming out and not saying it and living in your truth, you know, that's a form of slavery. You know, you are being a slave to what society says or what your family wants for you, your friends, and you're afraid of the judgment. We all get judged. We only get one life to live. So I just want people to live it to their fullest. If you are depressed, you know, and even if you don't come out and you say, I'm still not coming out, still get therapy. That has to be hard on you, you know, disguising pieces of yourself and tucking them away. Get therapy, talk to someone about it. It's not worth you losing your life over other people's opinions of you. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that understand now. There's always going to be people who are ignorant. Want to say, what's this? What's that? Why would you do that? Those people don't matter.
Don't answer the question. Okay, don't answer no fucking questions either. Don't kiss your ass. Go read a book, bitch.
Those people don't matter. I don't want to beat the dead horse because we are going to talk a little bit more about it later on with Pose because it's you know it relates to it. So we'll get into that a little bit more later. So now I'm gonna just turn it on over to Tokyo and let's get inside the box, okay? And if you don't know what the box is, yours is probably Dusty.
Not Dusty. Okay, so I'm continuing the BDSM series. Last time we talked about bondage and discipline, and this week we're going to talk about dominance and submission. So, dominant submission is a set of behaviors, customs, and rituals involving submission of one person to another. The dom takes the role of the leader, the guide, the enforcer, protector, or mommy or daddy. The sub or bottom takes on the role of the pleaser, brat, tester, baby girl or boy, or servant.
What you mean tester?
I meant teaser. Oh, tester, like a test their boundaries. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, see how far it's gonna go sexually.
No, just like a like how much they get away with. You know what I mean? So when you're a bottom or a sub, sometimes, like, you know, you heard of brats. You know, they be like, oh, I don't want to do that, just to kind of get in trouble. So you kind of test how far you can get. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what can I do to kind of like get in trouble, or, you know, it's a little goofy, but that's what you are. You're testing the boundaries. See how far you can get before you get disciplined, or stuff like
okay,
that. I get it. How far can you get with your dom before he gets in, or
like going against your rules and stuff like that. Okay,
pretty much, yeah. Or you could be a switch, which is, you know, you are comfortable as a dom or a sub. Okay. Now, physical contact is not necessarily, it doesn't have to have in a DS relationship. So when you're in a dom sub relationship, you don't necessarily have to do anything physical to them. You can be a dom and be far away. You can be anonymous. You can be you can go online and find a sub, and y'all kind of like, they get dominated online or over the phone. Like, say for instance, like the sub want to go to the market or something like that, and they need money. You know what I mean? You'd be like, oh, should I spend this money on so and so? The dom can give you permissions, yes or no. Okay. So you can do that over the phone. You don't have to be face to face or actually get disciplined or anything like that. Those relationships are pretty interesting to me because
I had a girlfriend who was in a relationship.
A dom sub?
Yes.
But
it was like backwards. Like she was the dom, and he was the sub, but he had money. I used to call him Nosferatu because that's what he looked like. He looked like Nosferatu.
I know Nosferatu.
He did, and I never believed her. You know, like I thought she was gassing it up and everything. Like he lived in England. I'm like, he's sending me money, child. She got on the phone. She was like, watch this. She called this phone up. She was like, I need $500, you ugly shit. And like she went.
Okay, so he like humiliation.
She went in on his spirit, and I'm just like. And he's like, Sarah, why are you talking to me? Sarah. And he sent the money. I said, ooh.
So he seems to be into humiliation.
So she's money.
Where might I find a sub like that? That's the kind of dom sub relationship I'm into.
And then like he always in England, and she like in America and shit. So she ain't even got to suck no dick for it.
No, you don't have to do any of that. You don't even have to be really sexual.
Oh, Zakira, you're a switch? Okay.
Are you? That's cool.
Switch stuff.
She's comfortable as a dom or a sub.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool though to be able.
Do you be beating Chris ass? You can inbox me later. You don't have to tell everybody, but you can tell me later.
No, but that's pretty cool. So DS relationships are an exchange of power, not a surrender of power. And I think that's a big misconception when it comes to DS relationships. You think that the sub is like giving up their control or like being like weak and stuff like that. But that's not really the case. You're kind of like, your dom has to earn your submission. So you have to trust them. They have to show you that they're a good person, that they're they have a good sense of justice, a good sense of character, stuff like that. And then you say, okay, I'm willing to surrender to you, or I'm willing to be your sub, and I want you to be my dom. So it's a good communication situation. Like they have a lot of talk, a lot of contract, a lot of discussion of what's hard limits. Hard limits are things that you are absolutely not with, like in regards to being dominated.
Hey.
She said the subs have all the control.
They do have all the control. If the sub does not trust the dom anymore, the dynamic is over. So the dom won't get their fix of dominating that person. You know what I mean? And once they take a sub under their wing, that's like their person. You know what I mean? It's a real deep connected relationship at that point. So if the sub says, okay, you did this incorrectly, or you did a hard limit, or just your trust is broken, you no longer have that control, and the bond is broken and the relationship is done. So the sub has all the control in the relationship, even though it's perceived like the dom do. You know what I mean? They do have control in the instance, but like the sub that shit can be over if they want to.
But you know what? I believe that because I'm not going to say their names, but you know who I'm talking about. They had the dom and sub relationship, and yeah, she really was controlling that relationship, and she could do whatever she wanted to do.
She could.
Yeah, and I feel like he thinks he has power, but
that's how it is. The dom believes they have power, but the whole point of the dominance though is to really kind of take care of your sub. So even though it seems like you're just like to the perceived eye, like you're just being demeaning or you're just being hard on them or something like that, that's not really the case. Technically, you're kind of like giving them what they want. Like you're trying to take care of them and kind of guide them a certain type of way or do something that's beneficial for them. But it kind of it benefits you too, because if it's pain or something that they want and you like it, like if you're sadist, you get pleasure out of it as well. You get the pleasure out of being able to control certain parts. But the sub controls the whole dynamic, pretty much. Like they have all the control. Now, to be in the sub-dom relationships, there are hid spaces to it. So there's subspace and there's dom space. So subspace is the emotional, physiological feelings subs experience during a scene. So a scene is like when they're doing the thing, like when they're in the DS moment, like when they're getting disciplined or bondage or whatever the situation is. This is the mindset they have to get into in order to get through it, type of thing. This creates a drunk or high feeling where the pain is gone, problems disappear, and your current state of mind is dizzy and joyful, almost trance-like.
So it's like a drug?
Yes. So your body releases a lot of chemicals when you go through these scenes, or like last time we talked about discipline and bondage and stuff like that. So that's a scene when they're wrapping you up or you're getting spanked or punished and stuff like that. That's a scene. And in order to get through that scene, your body releases a bunch of chemicals and endorphins, almost like fight or flight. And you kind of have like a morphine effect. So you kind of get almost calm and like trance-like.
Okay.
And that's kind of the level they're trying to get to. Like they like that feeling is enjoyable for them, the subs. It's interesting because even though the subspace is enjoyable and they like it and stuff like that, it's also a negative effect to it. So it's something called sub drop. Sub drop is the after effects of the scene. So after the scene, subs tend to be like, they can get depressed, they can get and that's just all the chemicals off of their drug. Yes. So then all those endorphins is coming out and releasing, and it's like they feel like crap. They feel awful. Hey Chris. They feel really bad. They feel like disgusted. Like so they have a lot of negative feelings that come to them afterwards, and that's where the dom is supposed to do aftercare. They're supposed to Make sure they feel good. Give them, they'll talk about aftercare in their talks, in their in the beginning when they get into a relationship. So they'll talk about, some people just like a cup of tea and to be held, or some people like to lay and just feel at one with their dom and stuff like that. So it's not always just them get beat and then they gotta go about their business. It has to be aftercare. That's a very important thing in a DS relationship. So the dom space, in order for them to get through their scene, they are also enter into like an altered state of mind. It's intense, amplified sensation, hyper focused, hyper aware of only the scene and the sub. So it's almost like what's the word, like you're hyper aware. You know what I mean? Like, so you're doing something and kind of very focused on how the sub is reacting. So when you spank them and it gets red, or you're going to see how their body react, you're kind of really focused on what is pleasuring her, what is this doing, and you have to focus on how she's reacting, because it tells you whether or not this is actually pleasing her or she's actually getting hurt, and like it's not a good thing. Because some people can have
sex regardless. You need to be hyper focused on it.
Yeah, I mean that's true. And in sex, you should be hyper focused on your partner and if they feel good. But
we all know.
People don't. But in these type of dynamics, because pain and stuff like that is involved, they kind of really got to focus on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's the dom space. They got to get hyper focused. They got to get secure in their situation, what they're going to do, and that's kind of how their mind goes. Which I feel like is very interesting, because I didn't know it was a dom space. And when I was first researching stuff, I didn't know that I always knew about subspace. I didn't know about dom space. Dom space is interesting. I didn't know they get hyper focused and hyper aware.
Be in a dom sub relationship. Would you trust your husband to be your dom?
I don't like following directions.
So you would have to be the dom?
Maybe, but I play too much. It's hard. Like, I feel like if I do be a dom, I'ma laugh too much. It's gonna fuck it up. Like, I don't know how to be serious like that. But I don't know.
I feel like you could be a sub to the right person. I feel like you would like
it. Irked though. Like, who talks to? No, I don't know. Because like you say something a little like, I really say something like, when you cook a dinner, I'm like, what? So I don't know. If it's in a sexual way.
No, yeah, in a sexual way. Not like make the tacos.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I would try it though. I know I'm a lad, but I would try it. I think
if he was like, get on all fours.
How can one
I would try it.
She would be in trouble all the time.
I would be getting my ass smacked all the time. Like
and then you also would like that though. Yeah, see.
I would try it though. If he was into that, I would try it. It'll be funny.
So husband, if you're watching, get on all fours. Oh my God. See what happens.
I'm gonna laugh.
Put your ass in there. Put your ass in there. She gonna do it.
I'll probably laugh, but I'll probably do it.
She gonna do it. She gonna do it.
So
you're welcome.
There are many types of DS relationships. There's DDLG, but I'm gonna get into that a little bit in a minute. DDLG, there's MDLG, which is mommy dom, little girl. Then there's MDLB, which is mommy dom, little boy. There's just dom and sub. There are adult baby diaper lovers. That's another one. I might do a whole video on that. I don't know yet. Very interesting.
Do they shit in a diaper?
They do. They shit in it. Yeah. They shit, they pee. And if they're in trouble, they have to sit in there for a long time. Yeah. It's a whole thing. I might do a video on that. Just tell me if y'all want me to do a video on adult baby diaper lover below. Very interesting. But today, I'm gonna just talk about.
That sounds like a yeast infection,
and I'm sure it is. I'm gonna talk about DDLG, which is day down little girl. Now, it's a lot of controversy with daddy dom.
That's what I'm saying.
They sit in it.
You gotta sit in it. Who's clean?
They're not allowed to use the bathroom. You have to ask your dom, can you go use the potty?
And if they say no,
no.
Well, I'm gonna be in trouble because I'm going to the bathroom. Like, because who cleans them up?
If they do.
Who?
The Dom, or they would.
The Dom wipes they shit up.
They would. Yes.
Can't nobody wipe my ass like I wipe my ass.
Which is the truth.
All right, I'm sorry. I ain't gonna go.
It's a lot. If y'all want me to really get in depth with it, I can.
Oh, you can turn into a meme. Yo, I sit in it. No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
it's cool. It's cool. So, Daddy Dom and Little Girl, that it has a lot of negative connotations to it. People really look down on this DS type of relationship because it's a grown man or grown fatherly type of figure who is in a relationship with a adult woman who is pretending to be a child type of thing. I don't know. People look at it as like a pedophile type of thing, which is not. It's two adults.
I mean,
I get it, but it's not the case. They're two adults. It's two adults, and that's like the bottom line. You don't even have to think deeper into it. It's two adults doing this, so it should be.
I'm not even mad at them because listen, like, keep them pedophiles away from you kids.
Right.
We're gonna act childish,
but they not
do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, but it's not like the dolls are attracted to little girls. I just want to preface that, like, they're not attracted to little girls. Okay, they are being a dominant figure or a caregiver to a female adult. You know what I mean?
Okay, so they're not pedophiles.
No, they're not into children and just want a adult to look like a child.
Okay,
no, they're being they're dominating a female woman.
Well, yeah,
and she's just
the diaper and see coochie.
Yeah.
Ooh, you gotta get that shit out the coochie.
Oh, shut up! Oh my god! Oh god!
No, it's giving me skin cheese.
What do they wipe it with? Do they wipe it with like
wait, but you know, like, do y'all want me to talk about the whole thing?
They don't do the.
You know, it's a whole store for adult baby diaper lovers. Like you can buy online, you can buy adult diapers that look like baby diapers.
Well, we know about the regular adult diapers.
No, not regular adult diapers. Like they look like baby diapers, like they're adult size. It's not like a pull-up, like the old people pull-ups. No, they're real diapers you got to take off like a baby.
Okay, Otis, because my thing is, for it to be an online store for diapers,
a big community.
That means that it's a big community of people out there purposely shitting on themselves. You're not incontinent. You're sitting in shit and urine, and then somebody is sucking a dick and eating a box after that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Listen. Now we don't kink shame.
I kink shame.
When it comes to shit and bodily fluid situations, I got a little bit of an issue with it. I'm pretty serious.
Not them. Me. Shit is. I'm judging.
You get sick.
Yeah.
Shit is pretty serious.
Why am I playing shit? They tell you after you done shit to wash your hands for a reason.
Right. Front to back, honey. Front to back. Yep. Not sitting it.
It's the whole thing. I mean, some people find the diaper actually sexually arousing. The diaper lovers literally, for some reason, has a sexual feeling to wearing a diaper. It's something about it. I don't know what it is. Oh my god!
Can't you get like toxic shock?
I don't think you get toxic shock.
You can't get toxic shock.
No, it's not up in you.
From sitting on shit in that diaper, like, cause it's chemicals.
You can definitely get yeast infections, bacterial infections, things like that.
You're like, you have something in your teeth. Ew. Little corn nuggets and shit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right.
We're talking about
yes,
Daddy Dogs and Little Girls.
Yes.
So this is basically a relationship in which one person is the caregiver or the daddy, and the other is the child or little girl or little. They call themselves little. They don't call themselves little. They call little. I'm a little.
Okay.
DLG dynamics tend to be more nurturing and intimate. Daddy Doms do not like harming the littles, but he may give out spankings. But only if it's for her own good. Daddy Dom cares, guides, dominates, punishes, praises, comforts, understands, and loves his little. He only wants what's best for her. So, in this dynamic, the little just wants to be taken care of. They want to be treated as if they're just a young child being nurtured by their father. They don't have to worry about anything. They don't have to. All the worries of the world is out the window. You know
and he paid his PGW bill. That's the kind of little girl I'll be.
That's what it is.
Hey, she had a 2-bed right there.
Don't be confused with sugar daddy. Sugar daddy is a whole different situation.
Why can't I have both?
Why they not sugar daddy?
They ain't got no dominance over nobody. You just give them a little something, they give you a little money. That's sugar. They give you sugar.
Well, I can't. If I'm gonna be the little, this little need her.
Daddy. I'm about to say it's about like the same thing because you gotta fuck an old man to get the pay.
This pink home bill is stressing me out, Daddy. I'm young. I never paid bills before.
You know what?
You know what?
I could get into that.
I act real childish.
Yeah.
How childish you want me to act?
Lollipops and knee socks, bitch.
I'll break your property. That's childish,
Oh
okay? What you want me to do? What you want me to do?
Give me a pacifier. Swingle.
Let me tell you something.
Can you put up the the DDLG picture,
please, Otis?
Because she just said give me a pacifier, and that just made me think of the photo I sent.
Oh,
if
God.
you can, this in your list of things. If not,
I'm not seeing a DDLG picture.
okay.
You're fired.
Ain't no picture.
There it goes. I found it.
Right there. That's it. Daddy's reading baby girl a little book.
And while he read me that book, when he flipped that next page, that Pico bill won't be right on page 3.
Look at that book and I'm like,
shoot. Pico.
Like what that said? Oh, this is a scary book. They're trying to say 600. I'm terrified. Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey, I thought we was reading people to be
Oh, the Philadelphia water. Daddy, homie, I'm scared.
Oh God. Yo. So gas. Where did that come from? When Dr. Seuss start rhyming about gas.
so yes. So okay, so that's the dom's, the daddy's role. The little girl is to be naturally submissive. She has complete trust, respect, and admiration for daddy. She might be sassy, needy, bratty, and whiny, but also in an innocent way. So there's also a discrepancy between DDLG dynamic and age play. It's very interesting to me because even though DDLG is age play, they are age regression.
What age play is for those that might
So
not
age
know.
play is just a person who pretends to be an age which they are not. They tend to be, whether you pretend to be, you're 40, you pretend to be 16. It's just age regression play. The difference that I keep reading about is DDLG believes that daddies and littles are always littles. So they're never, I don't want to say they're never acting different age, but littles believe that they always are in touch with their inner child. Like they always feel childlike. They have childlike interests. They have childlike mannerisms, demeanors. It's just part of their personality. So that's why they consider themselves a little. I'm a little. This is just who I am. Age play people tend to just do that for a scene. Okay. So they want to age regress. They're a baby for this scene that we're doing. But after that, you're probably regular. You're back to your regular age. You're cool. Okay. But with DDLG, that's not the case. These dynamics are kind of set. Like I am a little all the time. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. And for some reason, a lot of people that's DDLG have an issue with being called age players because they feel like it's not for play. Like it's not for play. This is
like,
who I am. Right. It's not for play. Like I'm not playing.
Like you don't grow the fuck up, bitch. Like, shut your age.
And I read like this one. The one that I read that talked about this, she was like, for some reason she feels uncomfortable to say she's an age player because it doesn't feel like she's playing, And she was saying even when she has to work an adult job, she has to be an adult, but she still acts her same way. But it's like she got to remember not to like nag or like say certain things out loud because she knows that it's not acceptable for an adult. So she kind of just like gotta like be quiet
I
most of the time.
Oh, those type of people will burn me up in my soul.
But the ones that act like
oh
children.
my God, like have your kinky sex behind your indoors. I cannot work with mild-mannered people. Not mild-mannered people. I can't work with childlike people.
Yeah.
I can't. If we are in a professional setting and
the voice is annoying.
Yes,
the voice is annoying. I've seen some baby talking.
I'm gonna need for you to
burn me up, but
I like them quaint people.
I'm gonna need for you to be an adult in an adult situation, okay? You want to be that? Do you?
But that's the thing.
Cool. Don't call me.
That's the thing, though. They don't feel as though they're playing. So like littles don't feel like they're playing. They don't feel like they're being in a sexual situation. You know, it's just they feel like their inner child is always present.
It's like bitch, you playing, you ain't 16 no more. If you not once you turn 17 and you started pretending to be 16, you was officially fucking playing, bitch. It was over. It was over. The year's done. It's done. You're a grown ass fucking woman.
Like, I told you that's why I don't like them. I never say the word right. The quaint.
I'm cute. I can't stand that shit. The Kuwait.
I never say the word right.
I can't stand that shit. Could you imagine having like file papers in your hand? Like, listen, this needs to be filed in the cabinet at a certain time. Bitch, if you don't put that little fucking system, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. I'll be ready. You know that meme of Jason from that movie White Snake Mom when he just staring at him like because bitch.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I can't. Where's your grown woman voice at? I know you got a period. Stop playing with me.
It's some kind of correlation between those. I can't say the word. You know how to say it. Quiet people and this fucking little shit. Because I feel like you 40 years old with big ass bows and sprinkles on your face.
I think it's just, I don't know. I actually think it's just an Asian, like it's an Asian thing. Like they just liked it.
No, it's not only Asian women that do that.
It's a lot of different race women.
Yeah, it's not just Asian women. I actually find it more acceptable. I find it more acceptable for the Asian women, you know, because half the time they do look like little girls,
and they act like that anyway.
But then when we adopt some things in our culture, and it's like, bitch, you was 40 if you was
I can understand you wanting to dress like that. You know what I mean?
I think the aesthetic is cute.
I think if you want to dress like that, that's fine.
I think it's cute.
Yeah, you want to dress like that.
But you do think it's a time and place.
Zakira,
like
it's more than a fashion statement. I thought it is more than a fashion statement. Because some of these people really be.
But you know they do it for the internet. Some of them, I know what you're talking about. But
they really do walk around in real life
like the aesthetic. The aesthetic is they think it's cute and girly.
Wait, I wouldn't have a problem with it if you just wanted to wear the clothes and stuff. But when you start talking like that, that's what annoys me.
The cringiness of a talking. First of all, Mariah Carey do it all the time. That voice.
I feel so.
And she do little stuff like she do little stuff. It's very cringy. It's very annoying. You know what I mean? But maybe that's because we're not in that lifestyle and like it's not appealing to us. It's annoying. But to a dom, Daddy Dom like it. So Daddy Dom,
Daddy Dom probably like it. But if you ain't getting your bills paid, I don't know. I'm sorry.
That's true. I agree. I agree with y'all. Everything y'all saying is very hilarious. But this is
no! Don't you send me nothing. I don't want to see none of them girls from TikTok. Yes.
Oh, Daddy, my boots just fell out of my shorts. Oh, what am I going to do with all these things? Like somebody please choose this hoe.
Oh shit!
Take her off the market. Like what y'all pandering for, nigga?
Oh, wow! Oh god!
Oh yes.
Like, why y'all
DDLG.
I don't
Very
care because there's
interesting.
somebody somewhere talking about men because I watch anime and I'm a witch. So fuck it.
They watching it like these black bitches.
Always talking.
These devil worshippers, you're going to hell. It's gonna be lit.
It will. I say that all the time. I say it all
You
the time.
want to
Hell's
okay?
finna be lit.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I sound like them. That's why that shit annoys me.
But that is my segment on Dom Sub and BDLG relationship. Do what you do, live your life. If you enjoy it, be safe, practice aftercare. Please,
Yeah.
aftercare is very important. I need y'all to understand the seriousness of aftercare. I have read so many articles, and aftercare is the most important thing in the world. If y'all gonna do these dynamics, you need to learn everything you need to learn about it. Be safe out there and have fun. That's
Wrap it up.
Yep.
Don't make no
Be safe
babies
out
if
there.
you still want to be a baby. How about that? How about that? Okay.
true.
The little girls get abortions. That's what I want to know.
Little get aborted.
Do they?
I'm sure they do. If they don't want no baby.
Shit, they don't, how you want to share? You want to change both our diapers? Huh? Huh?
You know what?
Like, we gotta have this adult conversation.
Can you turn it off real quick?
Stop it! I'm not a little one.
In the goddamn match, screaming match with your Tyler and shit.
She gonna be like, "What happened to your baby boy?" Like, I gotta get an abortion, Daddy.
And I feel like that's exactly how they probably say
The
that.
baby's having a baby.
I gotta get rid of the.
I can't believe it. Oh my God. I didn't know vaginas did that. Dad. You didn't tell me that.
Oh
Like,
my goodness.
Daddy, I missed my period. Like, what?
Yo.
Woo.
Yo,
I'm sorry, y'all. But sometimes we go here. This is for our entertainment right now. Not yours. Oh shit! All right, we gonna take it on over and start our mayhem and media segment with Tony. Tony.
Mayhem immediately.
Oh, she's so cute.
God, he's so working. I cannot.
One of them bitches gonna leave a nasty comment.
Yep. Please, so I could drag your fucking cute ass.
What that one guy said, it's gonna be a
Oh my God.
give tooth monstrosity.
Oh my God.
Give tooth monstrosity.
Y'all, so you know, we new to having this podcast and all this social media stuff, and this guy left a comment on one of the videos and called Tony a gap tooth monstrosity.
So disrespectful.
I didn't want to tell her. I just banned him. Like I just banned him.
We all busted.
They're like, why you?
what?
They're like, why you did it?
I just wish that, because I expect it. You know what I mean? It's the internet. I say mean things about people on the internet all the time. All the time. I expect it. I just hope that when you come for my gap, that you don't do like the Nutty Professor jokes. I heard those.
No, ma'am.
Okay, no SpongeBob jokes. I heard the SpongeBob jokes.
No,
okay?
ma'am.
Not the sign in between the teeth. I heard that. All the basic gap jokes. Let's just try. Like, before you type it in,
right.
rehearse in front of your family.
You Zakira said, I'm sorry for laughing. Listen.
Because it was so not get too monster, but monstrosity.
Like it was early in the morning. I'm just
Like,
going to check the messages. I'm like,
I just want y'all to know
man.
that it's been here for a long time now. I heard a lot of shit, so just be original. Make me laugh.
Yeah, be original, hoe.
Yeah,
But
that was pretty funny.
she told me I shouldn't have deleted it. And if it was about myself, then I probably wouldn't have deleted it. But because I'm protective of my friends, that's why I deleted it.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? I think all worse.
I had to remember that these are professional pages, and so where normally I want to drag somebody, go on their profile, find they, buck tooth children and talk about them and stuff, that I need to.
With a mouth like mine, girl, I'm gonna piss a lot of people off. The furry community probably already hates my ass.
They got a page strictly for you.
They done
made a page like this.
You can't convince me. Y'all motherfuckers not getting stars. I'm not sorry. You get staph infections, Martha, and them fucking costumes. I don't care what anybody say.